but you want romance. They were creating. I expect a woman to talk way different than that, dude. You want romance? This is the way you esteem your husband and encourage your husband. You ain't my inspiration. Beyonce is. Come on, take a robot is.
Beyonce won't touch 10 foot of her and somebody else.
Yeah, she would.
She won't touch her.
I look way better than Jay-Z, baby. Thank you. Jay-Z the ugliest goddamn planet. And Beyonce know the she in looks. Beyonce got in looks. She into a Jay-Z ugly as so
Jay-Z's a millionaire.
There was a day. There was a day that was broke too. He grew up in the project.
I gotta start. No, your ass.
Why ain't you going live right now? Tell us somebody who don't care.
Yeah, I know you don't care. Because you miss my ass and you manipulate it. And I'm sick of your and that's real talk, yeah, I'm sure.
Oh, this shit.
Yeah, I'm sure. I've been sure. That's why I cheated on your ass the first time.
Good.
So dumbass still.
She on me again. And again, like I did the first time, I don't care.
I know.
If you want to be a give it away for free. Did you get money for it? Did it pay your bills? Did it give you a child? Did it give you a husband?
Don't try to
got a nigga that don't give a fuck.
I'm not no
You is. So she don't even get it. You just say she don't. Look, she don't even get it. Chill me.
I'm not no
Oh, I am. So you downgrade. You downgrade.
I'm not receiving gas bitch.
You say that, but how you acting? You acting like
I'm not acting like no
that's a downgrade.
I gotta sleep with Charles.
That's a whole step.
I sleep with somebody better. I ain't gotta sleep with Charles. I ain't gotta sleep
Somebody better than Charles?
Yeah.
Well, that would be me.
That's please. Yes, you are.
That would be me.
Yeah, according to my mama, you ain't. According to my mama, you ain't.
Don't mind that. Robot?
No, you
Like I said, I love robots.
You don't want to be
I'm like you programmed by your mom and your dad. I got a thing for robots.
Kick your ass.
I love people who can program this. I like that. I'm a programmer. And you're looking sex robot. Yeah, and keep listening to your mom and your daddy. And Charles.
Don't tell. I don't listen to nobody. I don't have to listen to Charles. That's why she on you the first time. You didn't listen though.
Well, go see him again. With the first.
It's an upgrade from your ass. This
is what I do, baby. This find a robot. Find somebody who can program and just grab it.
Like you.
Yeah, like me, you're right. I can't be programmed, you right?
Yeah, you can't.
You gotta be sophisticated.
You don't wash it. Bipolar. Yeah, bipolar.
Man, that's my superpower.
Yeah, right. You ain't Kanye West and you damn sure ain't a millionaire, so I don't know what the about.
And you ain't Kim Kardashian.
I'm not trying to be. I'm glad being Rashid Yasmin, being a petite diva that I am. I don't give Kim Kardashian. I don't give two.
I'm not Kanye West. Why would you be mentioning him off the West Coast?
You don't know where the from you go.
So I was you know where I'm from either. I'm mixed.
The black man knows that arguing with the black woman is a useless exercise and one that he cannot win. Nobody on earth can out-argue a black woman. She may prepare for an argument days, weeks, or years in advance, rehearsing her strategies of how to get her point across. She will save up certain incriminating information to use it at the proper moment to give her leverage. She can speak very quickly and fire off insults hundreds at a time like a Gatling gun. The black woman, when arguing with the black man, tends to sound off as if she is fussing at her child. She does not distinguish between the two when she is angry, especially since she views the black man as an incompetent, immature being. Many a black man has become outdone and tongue-tied from trying to argue back at a black woman. She is a master at it. She will harbor grudges and hold fast to a hostile thought forever. She is very adept at negative thinking. Therefore, when it comes time to argue, she uses the no holds barred theory and vents all of her complaints at once. She will throw in new topics, things that she has been upset about over the past month, and is glad to have the chance to get it off. She will make the most cruel and throat-cutting remarks, and in every new argument, she throws up old embers from the previous one. She will pout until she gets her way. A mere apology from her man is not enough. Nothing is enough if she is mad and thinks she is right. She might demand some material item like clothes, jewelry, money, or more until she is satisfied that her man is totally sorry and repentant. Sometimes it might be a request that he do certain housework, take her out, keep the children, and stay home. This can only happen when the black man admits to some wrongdoing or lies and she knows it's a lie, but lets him get away with it. Sometimes the admission is nonverbal. It may be a look. When arguing, she insists on having the last word. She curses and flings the most vile words out of her mouth. Sometimes she can keep up the same argument for days, never changing a word. She manages to stay angry for an extraordinary length of time, will huff and puff, turn red, sweat, stomp her feet, and slam doors or throw things. After a certain point, she ceases to address the right or wrong of the issue and merely fights to win. She considers herself the winner if she manages to drive the man out of the house, make him stop talking back, or get him to concede. If she has done something and is guilty, busted, she checks her mental files to find something the black man that has done, which is equally wrong, to use that point to defend herself. She cannot rest until she forces him to admit his error. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back to On the Shoulders of Giants. I am Joseph Ward, doing my reading of Sister Shahrazad Ali's book, The Black Man's Guide to Understanding the Black Woman. This is chapter 17, Arguments. And she's talking about how the black woman is a master at arguments. I think the whole world knows this by now. The American black woman is like Shaolin masters when it comes to arguing. And now there are different tiers. Now, there are some black women who get ate up by other black women now. Just because, now, remember, this is not every black woman now. But there are black women, there's enough black women, and there's been enough black women throughout history that are like Shaolin masters, like Kung Fu masters when it comes to arguing. Like, you're wasting your time because you're not going to win, right? And once again, that's not all black women, but we're talking about certain stereotypes, certain mindsets, certain personalities, certain behaviors that certain women choose to express. Now, I don't know about y'all, but looking at that clip, the one thing I'm curious of is who is Charles? Because Charles can cause some mayhem in these people's relationship. But now, I chose that clip because that clip is an example of some of the arguments being talked about in this book. Now, that is not the example of black arguments, but that is an example, and I will admit an extreme example, but I chose it to catch people's attention, right? Because I want us to wrap our mind around one, what Sister Shahrazad Ali is explaining to us about the nature of the arguments of a specific type of black woman, but also two, I want us to also think about the counter narrative, right? How to better resolve issues within black households, black relationships, black couples, how to have healthy disagreements rather than explosive, volatile disagreements that lead to disarray, distrust, dysfunction, all of the disses. We don't need no more disses. We already threw in the white flag. The black family is on life support. Black relationships are on life support. So remember, this is a guide to help us understand the women that we're dealing with and to make the decision whether we really want to deal with these type of women. Once again, this is not all women, but these are archetypes and behavioral patterns that do exist in women, black women of today and black women of yesterday. That's how she was able to write this book in 1989 and it still be so relevant here in 2024. and this is the latter part of 2024, and this book is still relevant, right? But you know that the clip, I don't even know what the real argument was. I know they were arguing about her cheating. He ain't no real man. Jay-Z and Beyonce, Kanye West and Kim Kardashian. No, that was a real immature argument on both sides, I will admit. A real immature argument on both sides, but it was an example of what Shahrazad Ali is talking about in his book about how the insults have to be hurled, how some black women have to go for the win, and to go for the win, they will go for the jugular. They will say whatever they need to say to get that win, to get that victory, to get that foothold, cutthroat. I'm going to hurt your feelings. I'm going to demean you. She told the dude he don't wash his butt. She told him she slept with Charles. He broke. He ain't this, he ain't that. And of course, he countered with telling her that she was a hoe and all these other things. She slept with Charles and she jumping on the first wee out there and all these things that he called her B and all those different things, right? So they were both childish people going back and forth. But it was an example of the arguments that she's talking about in this book, the disrespectful, unhealthy, childish arguments that happen within Black relationships. So let's jump back in it, but also keep in mind, we're also I'm also injecting in my commentary of the counter narrative, the positive relationships, how to build the healthy relationships, how to work toward the healthy relationships, right? We're going to argue and we're going to have disagreements and we're going to be mad at each other, but it's how we do it that matters. So let's jump back in and remember this chapter is from page 165 to 177. For 165 to 177. And make sure y'all hit that like button too. Make sure you hit that good like button. So she has learned that the Black man is peaceful by nature. She has learned that he will go along with a lot of situations just to keep the peace and keep from arguing with her. Sometimes she places outrageous demands on him to try to perk him into an argument. When she finds he will acquiesce and desensitize the situation, she will press further just to see how far she can push before he rebels. It's a game to her, and an unfair one since she cannot survive this kind of mental pressure from the Black man. But she is petty, and she keeps all sorts of little mental scorecards. When the time is right, moments presents itself, she lets go with both barrels. Below are a few examples of the trite reasons the Black woman uses to get mad and argue with the Black man. And forewarn you, I'm not going to read all of these because these are 50 things, 50 reasons why the Black woman gets mad and argues with the Black man. I'm going to read a few, but not all 50. If he stays away from the home too long, whether she knows it or not, if he visits with his mother or other family members too often or too long, if he does not take her to the place of her choice, if he breaks a date with her for a reason she does not accept, if he says, I'll be right back and doesn't, for doing for more of his side of the family than hers, for speaking to an old acquaintance with too much enthusiasm, for dancing too close with another woman, for looking at another woman when she is out with him, for not telling her that he loves her enough, for spending too much money on his other children, for not complimenting her on her outfits, on her new outfits or hairstyle, for not remembering her birthday or other special occasions, for being too tired or too busy to have sex with her, for admiring another Black woman on TV or in the movies, for not being on time for a dinner date, for working too much, not cutting the grass or emptying the trash, for not attending a special affair with her, for not going to church or on the church bus trip, for being too busy to listen to her chatter, being preoccupied. So like those are just 20 of the 50. So I'm not going to go through all 50. Then she comes back and says, these 50 categories are just a few of the often trite examples that the Black woman blames as reasons to get mad at the Black man. This list is actually almost infinite and just as ridiculous. It is not to say that couples do not become displeased with each other for doing this or that, but the displeasure must be expressed in civilized terms. A civilized person is one who does and says things in an intelligent manner, considerate way. Civilized, more importantly, means one possessing knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, culture, refinement, and is not savage. The pursuit of happiness, right? So that's my injection into this. How to best handle disagreements or arguments. They gonna happen. Do your best to get to the resolution as positive as possible. Do I have all the answers? Nope. Am I the greatest at it? Nope. But I'm trying, right? And so I do understand that if I go this route and say this and behave like this, then it's not going to work out. So let me try something different. Let me try to use more honey to catch the flies. Let me try to be more adult or more civilized about what I want, because the the end result is a healthy resolution. The end result is not an explosive argument. The end result, especially if you want to be together, the end result is not to break up. The end result is a healthy resolution. So how can we both get to this healthy resolution? All right. So let me forewarn you. So this next section is one of probably the most criticized section of her book, because this is when she is explaining to the black man that if the black woman's mouth gets out of control, she's explaining to the black man how to react and react in a physical manner. I just say it like that. So, but then she also comes back with context about what she's talking about. So I'm gonna read it and then I'll inject my thought. So there's another kind of black woman who does not consider a fight unless some licks are passed. She is the one who believes that she is just as tough and as bad as a man, and thinks that she can say whatever she wants, no matter how repugnant, insulting, or disrespectful it is, and thinks there are no ramifications or accountability. She tries to be a bully. She braces up to her man, toe to toe and eye to eye. She presents a problem when she does this. This brings up a very unpopular and unpleasant category: the black man's self-defense mechanisms. There's never an excuse for ever hitting a black woman anywhere. And she's saying, so let me, and I'm pausing. So she's about to say, there's no excuse for a black man putting his hands on a black woman except for in the mouth. That's what she's saying. So, because it is from that hole in the lower part of her face that all her rebellion culminates into words. Her unbridled tongue is the main reason she cannot get along with the black man. She often needs a reminder. This does not mean that she needs or wants to be battered or beaten to a pulp. However, if she becomes disrespectful and viciously insulting to the black man, there is a penalty. The black man must turn the tables on her and withdraw from her bed. He must be disciplined enough to deny her sex. This will get her attention. She is often like a rambunctious child. She wants to know what her parameters are. If she is allowed to curse at and yell at the black man, she will get worse. This is not an instruction to be used as a license to daily. Frustration and mental illness has already been identified as reasons the black woman is physically battered and abused by the black man. This directive is for sensible black men who adopt the tactics and advise of this entire text. The author is not advising, when in doubt, kick her out, to beat the black woman and injure her, or to strike her with a closed masculine fist is forbidden. The black man is to become impatient and just beat the black woman in savage and uncivilized behavior that is not recommended. If she is brutalized repeatedly, the relationship will fail and the black man will possibly be arrested and charged with cowardly abusing a black woman. This is not the goal. Make no mistake about it. No black eyes, no punching in the breast or stomach, no stomping or no uppercuts. Analyzing the opinions of the black man when the black woman's mouth becomes uncontrollably disrespectful. They total only a few. So these are things that she's recommending the black man can do. So other than put his hands on her. So, and that's what I was going to come to, like other solutions, right? But here are some solutions once again that she's giving, other than putting his hands on her. He can walk away from her, leave the house, get drunk. He can go to his other woman and complain. He can quit the relationship, leave the woman. He can try to argue back and lose. He can seek counseling or sympathy from friends. He can withdraw from her bed and deny her sex. So I hear what she said. I hear what she's saying. I disagree with the part of having the bop in the mouth. I'm not gonna go down that lane. I'm not even gonna suggest or promote that. But what I will do is suggest and promote that a man stand his ground and not let anybody disrespect him, especially not the woman who claims to be his woman. Do not let anybody disrespect you, talk to you any kind of way. I don't care what they're used to. I don't care what they've been doing, like doing, all that stuff. Don't let people be disrespectful to you. Don't disrespect the relationship. Don't disrespect the union. She's not going to stay with you if she doesn't respect you. No matter what, at the end of the day, man, she's not going to stay with you if she doesn't respect you. Don't let anybody disrespect you. You watch your mouth, and you make sure she watches her mouth. You command respect. You command it. You display it. You give it. Now, if you're operating from that standpoint, period, you will not attract disrespectful women. So let's talk about that too. Why are you attracting disrespectful women? So you gotta fix something in you, because you're attracting disrespectful women, because that's on you. You gotta think about it, and you choosing to be with women with low character that will disrespect you. So you got to talk with you, and you got to figure it out. But don't get into these situations and thinking that you have to take disrespect just for somebody to stay with you. Nah, it's okay to be by yourself than be disrespected. So after all she has done, all she can humanly do is sit back and wait on the black man's reaction. She still wants his attention, any kind of attention she can get, even if it is the kind of attention that gets her abused. She wants a rumptious, a blowout, and emotional release. If it is possible to restrain her long enough to get her to listen, it is possible that she can be reasoned with. At this time, the black man should not lie. Repeat, the black man should not lie. He should tell the truth, untampered with, in such a way as to make her understand that it is not the end of the world just because she doesn't like something that happened. Whenever she fusses or battles with a man and wins, she is unhappy inside. It is a very confusing dilemma. She perpetuates because she doesn't really want to win. And whenever she loses, she gains more confidence in a man's abilities. She is too mixed up. Whenever she wins, it muddles her more. It is not that important to her. Whenever he does, as long as he can, gives her the following. One, and these are 10 things that she's saying the man must give his woman. One, companionship. She wants to be sure that he will not abandon her. She wants belongingness to be possessed by him. Two, she wants to be connected, included, and considered. Three, opportunity to give service. She wants the black man to give her something to do that will help him. She wants to feel a part of him by doing things for him, especially designed for her, that no one else can do as well. She wants to be expected to do certain things. Four, she wants a home. She wants a place to live that is secure for her children. She wants her home to be her sanctuary. Five, she wants sexual fulfillment. She wants the black man to desire her and enjoy her sexually expressions and tell her so. She wants to be touched and stroked. Six, she wants to be protected. She wants to be confident that her life and her children's lives are safe with the black man. She wants him to demonstrate this publicly if possible. Seven, she wants her man to make decisions. She wants him to decide on what she needs and give it to her. She does not want to have to figure out everything for herself. She wants him to take charge. 8, she wants him to be firm. She wants him to set the limits and enforce his instructions and rules, not by breaking the peace. 9, she wants security. Again, she wants to know that a man would not leave her for another woman as long as she performs properly, and that he will always come back to her. And number 10, she wants him to be spiritual. She wants her man to identify with and recognize a higher authority and guide his life by his religious principles. And so I will say, speak to the point of, the arguments and the winning and the losing of the arguments, but also the 10 points. Believe it or not, she is right. There is women do like it when a man is firm and stands his ground. They don't like no punks, right? If you're a man, your woman don't want you to be no punk. And she especially don't want you to be no punk to her. She don't want to see you be no punk to nobody, especially to her, right? So this is not saying that she wants you to dominate her life and make her your slave or something, but stand up for yourself in your relationship. Don't be afraid to say no. Hell, I think every man should practice saying no. Just practice saying no throughout the day and be able to use it. Sometimes it's a no. Sometimes we ain't doing it. Sometimes it ain't happening. Sometimes I'm not gonna do it. It's gonna be like that sometimes. I admit, it might be easier for me than you, because I admit I'm stubborn, and I could be stubborn than a mule. I can. I admit. Yep, I'm admitted to the world. I can be as stubborn as a mule, but I can be compromising as well. I'm both. I am stubborn and compromising. Both are true about Joseph Ward. I am stubborn as a mule, but I'm compromised. I understand the team dynamic at the end of the day, and I want my team to win. But sometimes I ain't doing it. Nope. And you got to give me a good reason to change my mind. And if it ain't a good reason, I ain't doing it. And nope. And that's what it is, right? But once again, at the end of the day, both are true. I am stubborn, yet compromising. That's what it is. But you have to learn how to take a stand sometimes and just say no and make the decisions and take charge, right? A woman does want that security that you won't mess with nobody else, that you are hers. She does want to be connected and included and considered. The service part, she wants to be able to be a part of what you got going on. Like you always hear the women talking about, I want to be able to help my man take what he got and take it to the next level, whether she can actually do it or not. But she's going to verbalize that's what she wants to do. Making her feel safe, secure, protected, provided for, loved, satisfied, desired, wanted. She wants to feel sexy. She wants to feel beautiful. All those things. She wants to feel that from you. And so you got to understand what you're signing up for when you're getting into a relationship with a woman, especially understanding the type of woman that you're with. And if you're not taking the time to understand the woman that you're with, you're going to be in for a long ride or a short relationship. Right? So what's the quality of the relationship that you want? If the black man gives her all or some of the above requests, after a time, she will become secure and give him peace. It is extremely tenuous to try to give her things that make her peace because she has been taught to live in a mental hell daily. There are those who are idea producers and planners who give directions, and those who agree to follow the instructions to make the goals a reality. This system is the only one that works to make progress in everything. The black man's problem is that the black woman thinks she is the one who has ideas and is qualified to give directions. Well, she has been able to lead other black women and some other white people, but she has not been able to lead the black man. He will not go. He cannot by nature follow the black woman. It does not matter what she has, who she is, or what she gives him. He will not follow the black woman as a guide. He would rather mark his place, stand still, and step backwards. But he will not go forward with her in the front. The black woman has been tortured by the liberation-seeking white woman to execute her own individuality and throw off the shackles of husbandly bondage and practice self-freedom. While some of this may be true of the white woman's plight, This has no bearing on the black woman's situation since she has not been under the black man's rule since prior to slavery. Slavery was such a desperate time for blacks due to the race destructing tactics employed by the slave master. Not only was there unbearable physical pain and excruciating demanding labor, but separation was promoted by offering singular and individual rewards gained by pleasing the slave master and being a good slave. A good slave was one who consented to do anything and did everything possible to stay alive. The individual reward system ripped apart the ties of couples, siblings, relatives, and friends. Independent self-preservation was the rule. If one wanted to stay alive unhurt, this training was a fallacy because the real truth is that the greatest advancements are made through unity and agreement, not individuality. She is beautiful butterfly encased in a cocoon of fear, doubt, and suspicion. She has been frightened and allowed her fears to grow in her life and behavior. It will take a long time to get her back on the right path to successful black womanhood, and it is a journey she cannot take without the guidance of a black man. And we grow together. We grow together. We glow together. We win together. We need each other. We need each other to become the best version of each other. Good, healthy, black, loving relationships to help us just be the best versions of ourselves. Because you know how being with good people make you want to be the best version of yourself. Being with good people make you want to go after everything that you want to go after, make you want to get it and get it more, grab the earth by the ankles and shake the paper out, right? It makes you just want to be the best version of yourself overall. So that's the good thing about the healthy relationships, right? Learn how to not argue, but have healthy conversations about what's going on and come to a healthy resolution. Black women seemingly have a bloodline connected when it comes to taking and following instructions. She is hard-headed and stubborn to have her own way. She thinks that if she obeys her man, that she will try to make a fool of her and take away her identity. She also fears what her family and friends will say if they find out she lets him tell her what to do. Therefore, she is disobedient. Obedient means one who is willing to follow instructions as a means of respect. Slave means a human being who is owned by another and dominated to the point of drudgery, mistreatment, and pain. Fool means a silly person capable of being tricked or deceived. Black women are not readily able to explain why they associate obedience with that of being a fool, nor are they able to elaborate on why they compare being told what to do with slavery. Here again is the psychological result of slavery on the black woman. The slave master systematically and graphically devised steps to prove in front of the black woman that the black man had no control of his will, and he destroyed anything he tried to build or protect. The black man's stamina, faith, and perseverance in the face of multiple impossible-looking obstacles impressed her that he was a soft-headed man who repeatedly deceives himself by believing that he can do great things. It is a paradox to her. And speaking to that, right, because I often hear some women who are in a bad place in their lives and with black men black men have never built anything. Black men have never built anything, not understanding the history of what has happened to the black man in this country and everything that the white man has done to tear down what the black man has built, including the black man's family. There's hundreds of years of white men destroying what black men have built, what black people have built, but especially the black man. Remember the video I put out last Tuesday with Dr. Francis Cress Welsing. The black man is the target of white supremacy. It's the main target of white supremacy because the black man to them poses the greatest threat to white supremacy, right? With the theory of Dr. Francis Cress Welsing, the black man is the one that they've abused the most. So of course they fear him the most. The black man is the greatest threat. So the white man has done everything they can to tear down and take from or buy from the black man that the black man has built. So it looks like we have never created nothing and never contributed nothing and never built anything. But if you look deeper, if you look deeper into the history, deeper into the records, deeper into the books, you will see that the black men have contributed greatly to this world, to civilization, to history. But because the white man have the pen, they write the history the way they want. But that's why this channel exists too, to make sure the history is told in its proper context. On the other side, juxtaposing her position, she has some inner feelings and resentment, disdain for herself. She hates the black man for letting her treat him this way. She wants him to stand up and defend himself, even if it means he has to kick her out of the way to do so. This is necessary whenever the black woman steps out of the protection of womanly behavior and enters the dangerous domain of masculine challenge. Regretfully, some black women want to be physically controlled. They may call each other up on the phone and proudly brag to each other about how my man beat my A, or beat the S out of me, or kicked my A. These confessions do not usually mean she was brutally attacked or injured bodily. They just mean they got busted in something, or other black women understand and realize the risk they take every day keeping up the game. A bust can be devastating too. But machoism is not new to her. Sometimes her sexual desires become perverted to the point that she derives a weird pleasure out of being hit, because she likes the special attention she gets doing making up. Some of them report that sex is extra good right after a good fight. The black man should not give in to her abnormal distortion of sexual stimulation connected to pain. I agree. Not unless they both agree that this is how they like it, and both parties go through those motions on a voluntary basis. The black woman does not know why certain kinds of pain and discord appeal to her. She doesn't know why she chooses misery over happiness. She gives no consideration to the roots of her hidden ideas. She thinks that everything she thinks comes directly from deep inside her nature, and that whatever she feels is a permanent part of her. She learned everything she knows from other people in the form of instruction or suggestion, especially the white woman. I added that part. The majority of her instructors did not have her well-being in mind, especially the white women. Right. Arguments and disagreements between the black man and the black woman must be settled in such a way as to deal with not just the catalyst issues that sparked the anger, but why the particular incident invited such a frantic and hostile reaction from the woman. Sometimes seemingly harmless or lightweight events cause great eruption in the black woman's mood and cause her to go out of control. The inside true issues and reasons must be delved into to get to the root of her insecurity. Actually, to the black woman, certain behaviors in the black man are symbolic of things that cause an undesirable pain and disappointment in her childhood or teenage years. So when anything similar or reminiscent of those occurrences appear in her personal relationship, where she is already unsure of, she goes berserk. She feels vulnerable, threatened, powerless, and scared. These are strong emotions when the black woman experiences them simultaneously. In examining the black woman's childhood, the black man will have ample opportunity to scrutinize his own. Almost focus on the forces, the individual personalities, and environments from which they emerge. From these memories, they will be able to examine together the long-term effects of slavery and hard times. It will invariably be found that the disparity between the black man and the black woman was already present when they were born. It has existed a very long time, with each generation contributing their own part to the decline of the black male and black female interpersonal relationships. It is not really something that the present day blacks invented. It is an inherent habit of neglect, dissatisfaction, and perversion. The aforementioned three habits are not rules, nor are they prerequisites of living in today's world. They are patterns of behavior brought on by suggestions and conclusions drawn by Western societal morals and mores. In the meantime, remember that the Black woman's real self is a wonderful, loving helpmate. If she forgets this and behaves other than her real self, the Black man should collar her on the spot and insist she get it back together. He must treat her right and make her treat him right. If after the Black man tries every way that he can to make the Black woman happy, does everything he feels necessary to make her satisfied, and she still insists on being out of order and rebellious, he should get rid of her. No matter what it costs, he should not waste his precious life trying to live with a Black woman who refuses to make him happy. Freedom and peace are priceless. Look, healthy relationships are the key to the Black family, the key to the Black community, the key to a Black nation. Healthy, Black, loving relationships. We're human beings. We're going to have problems. We're going to have issues. We're going to have disagreements. We're going to have discord. But we have to handle them like adults. You can't be arguing all the time. You can't be screaming at each other all the time. You can't be disrespectful to each other all the time. You can't be harboring bad thoughts, bad moments, like waiting on the gotcha moments and all that, trying to have one up people, trying to win, all those different things. That if you're gonna let it go, let it go. If not, let the whole relationship go. If we're gonna be together, we got to work together, we got to win together, we got to love together, we got to grow together, right? We got to build together. It's not for us to tear each other down together. The Black nation is built from Black families. The Black community is built from Black families. Healthy Black people engaging in healthy relationships and healthy manners and healthy ways with healthy mindsets to get healthy outcomes. That's how we get healthy communities, healthy children, healthy futures. Hell, let's become a threat to white supremacy again by actually loving ourselves and loving each other. Remember that? Remember when we were a threat to white supremacy because we actually had family values and communal values and societal values and we loved each other. You know, the white people were really, really coming after us. Federal government programs, how they did the Black Panthers in those times because Black people were really about this unity and really about this community stuff and really about standing up for each other, really about loving each other and really about having family. Remember back when we were forced, before integration, when we were forced to be with each other and love each other? Let's get back to that. But this time we're not forced to do it in that manner. We're forced to do it because it is our survival that matters. It is our survival that matters for us to work together and to love each other and to have healthy relationships and not make the argument the catalyst or the main thing about Black relationships. Arguing all the time, these unhealthy relationships, they're crazy. We grown. Let's do better. Let's show the children better. I know my audience is an audience of competent, loving Black men, mostly, and Black women. I know my audience is an audience of people who do their best to be their best. I know we are. I know you are. So let's make sure we spread this information. Let's make sure we are practicing what we preach and being the best that we can. So this is going to be the last video for this book. The conclusion is only 3 pages, so you can read that on your own. So this is Sister Shahrazad Ali's The Black Man's Guide to the Black Woman. My overall thing is, it is just what it said on the title. It's the Black Man's Guide to Understanding the Black Woman. Now, you must understand what happened to the Black women, what happened to us, what job slavery did, what job Jim Crow did, what job white supremacy did on our minds, the programming that we have gotten, how we view ourselves, how we operate with ourselves, how we love ourselves. Remember, the 9 areas of human activity. Sex is that area. So we could throw relationships, even politics into that area, right? How we relate to each other, how we relate with each other. It's been fractured. That's why we're getting this guide to understand how to better operate, how to better understand the Black woman, what has happened to the Black woman, so we can help the Black woman heal and grow as she simultaneously helps us heal and grow. This is to help us be a better version of ourselves, have better women in our lives, have better outcomes from the women that we're with. We don't know everything. Don't be afraid to learn some new things. I enjoy reading this book. I think this book have a lot of good information. It's a small book, but impactful, powerful book. Of course, you know the link is in the description to get you a copy of the book. And in the comment, hey, what books you think we should read next? Of course, you know I'll be dropping my 4 choices in the community tab, so you can go ahead and vote on those so we can get started on reading what we need to read. But this is the Black Man's Guide to Understanding the Black Woman. And if you haven't gotten your copy, get your copy, because Black men, we have to do better. We have to be better. We have to be stronger. We have to be smarter. And the Black women that we choose to have in our lives, the Black women that we choose to be in relationships with, the Black women we choose to make children with. But we also have to understand totally what happened to us and what happened to the Black women and why we're here. It is purposeful that the Black family is fractured. It's purposeful that Black love is fractured. But we have to be purposeful in remembering who we are and putting Black love back together, putting the Black family back together. Because at the end of the day, we are all we got. Black love comes first. Black family comes first. I'm Joseph Ward. I love y'all. Make sure I hit that like button. I catch y'all on the other side with the new book that we read. We getting through this thing. I love it.